It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we're running it back with the two teams from Super Bowl 35. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Giants. All that and more coming up next.
Well, the Giants began play all the way back in 1925. And almost 100 years later, this venue was built to house their next era. MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we've got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over them for big yardage, and maybe 6 points too.
Here's Graham Gano out for the opening kick. And away we go from East Rutherford. On the return, here comes Justice Hill. Finds some space, he's past the 30. Coverage team tracks him down as the return reaches the 35. So the Ravens offense taking over for the first time here. And they're brought out by someone who is the modern example of an elite running quarterback, the multiple-time MVP, Lamar Jackson.
A decade plus before Lamar, it was a guy named Michael Vick who was the standard for dual-threat quarterbacks. Well, today, that standard is Lamar Jackson, who at his best is an MVP-caliber player, the most exciting player, not just in his position, but in all of football. And don't let that running overshadow the strides he's made as a passer, too, in the pocket and as a franchise quarterback to build upon.
No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10. This one's a little touch pass forward to his man coming across. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Micah McFadden able to make the play. Only a yard for him that time, so now 3rd and 9.
Tried to mix in a little wide receiver carry and catch this defense on its heels. We've seen it work time and again, and it almost got there. Without that tackle, we could have seen a big gainer. To give some credit to the defense where credit is due.
That's caught for the first. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. They'll get 18 yards there. And that's good for a Ravens first down.
If they get a handful of these types of plays per game, well, the pass game coordinator is going to be one happy camper.
Football on that 47-yard line, first down. Here's Henry on the option, and he's brought down for a loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Lamar now from the gun. Pass into the hands of Mark Andrews. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Micah McFadden able to make the play.
You know what I love to say? You never go broke taking a profit, and you often gain profits when you use your eyes as a quarterback. Those hitch routes, those underneath throws, oftentimes it's the eyes of the quarterback looking downfield and then taking that short completion.
Now Jackson on 3rd down. Hauled in left side. And he's going to be taken down a yard shy of the 25. He picks up 15 on the play. And that'll be first down, Baltimore.
You know, they really love that drag route because he's one of those guys they can count on not only to make the catch, but create after the catch. If they don't close on him quickly, he can add a lot of yards before someone tracks him down.
First down, here's Lamar. Gets this to Bateman. This is ahead for about 5. Drew Phillips making the tackle. Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. Again, it's Jaxson to the air. Bateman hauls it in. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have first and goal.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
This drive has been excellent. A few shots now. It's starting with 6 as they come up on it. First and goal. Putting a receiver in motion. They'll run here with Henry. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. 6 yards from there. It's going to be second and goal.
The humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain. Not a game-changing play by any means. But one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Second and goal, it's an option to the left. And he gets in, touchdown. The Ravens finish up an excellent opening series. It's a Lamar Jackson touchdown. Well, we all knew somebody was running with it there, and when the defender started flowing towards the back, he made the right call that he would be the one to run it in.
Yeah, he sure did. I think if he hands that off, this play does not end in a touchdown, but in a collision for his running back.
Yeah.
So not only is that running back thanking his quarterback, the rest of the guys are celebrating for that decision.
Kicking unit comes out for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Ravens will jump out to a 7-0 lead. The Ravens kicking team is ready, and they're going to send this one away. Returning it from the 4. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. So out come the Giants, their first drive of the game coming up. They'll be led out by this promising young signal caller, already a starter in his first season out of Ole Miss.
Simply put, there's not a throw on the field he's not capable of making. His arm can reach every blade of grass, which as a defender is an absolute pain to have to worry about down in and down out. And as an offense, it energizes you for the possibility of a big play at any time.
And he found some running room for a nice gain. Just a little short, but still a 9-yard pickup. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid gain, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
They go right back to Tracy, and they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Now might be a good spot to remind everybody, about for the 1000th time, how much better athletes these D tackles are today, Kate. A decade or two ago, they just ate up space. Now, they eat up running backs.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Looking to the air here. Connects with Slayton. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a first down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. They'll go left side with Tracy. And he's able to get this down to the 36. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
That's pretty good right there now. You don't always expect a sizable gain when you run it on first down. You just want some yards to set up an easier second down play, but they will take that execution every time.
Throwing now on first down. Caught by Theo Johnson. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Stopping that play, Trenton Simpson.
That can be a hopeless feeling when you fire a curl route right into zone coverage perfectly like that. Unless that curl happens to be right next to where one of your guys is sitting, that pass can hum in there and there's nothing this defense can do.
Shotgun snap, a gift to Tracy. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. Stopped by one of the league's best tacklers, Roquan Smith. Call it no gain, maybe one at best on that play. That leaves him with 3rd and 2. They're going to try to pick it up with an option left. And the defense was ready. They got him at the line. Ground game stopped again. That leaves them with a 4th and short.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just times you got to run in the darkness. And when linebackers fill that hole like that right in the middle of the field, he ran right into the darkness and the pain of that linebacker.
On 4th down, we'll see Graham Gano lead the Giants field goal unit out. This will be a 45-yard look from the left hash. The kick by Gonzalez is good. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. This return makes it up to the 25. The Ravens offense returning to the field for their 2nd possession. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air, so expect some tighter coverage this time around. Henry gets it here to start the drive. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
That's a pretty good stop on 1st down. This defense now gets a chance to dictate, and that's what all the great defenses want to do, Kate. They want to dictate it on their terms and not just be reacting to what the offense is always doing.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the gun, Jaxson connects with Bateman. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. And they can go ahead and stay in that huddle. We're at the end of the 1st quarter. 7-3 is our score. We'll get back to East Rutherford after this. Back at beginning of the 2nd quarter, Ravens in possession. They've got 1st and 10 here, looking to add to their lead. They're working a couple of yards past the line. Javon Holland there to make the stop. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8. From the 43. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete. Another look for him, Brock. And hey, why not with the way he's playing so far? But this time, just couldn't hang on.
I think you'll see coordinators at times, Kate, get away from something that's working. I like that they go back to him. Make them defend him and stop him. They did that time. And my hunch is they'll look for that receiver again today.
Jaxson now on 3rd. Throw left side, complete.
You know, Kate, that's exactly what that coverage was meant for. Make the quarterback throw it short, go up and rally, and get yourself off the field.
The Ravens gonna punt this away, and here's Jordan Stout to handle that boot. And something on the return, but not much, as it still ends inside the 20. Call that a booming 56 yards in the end. And it'll be Giants football. Staying between the tackles with Tracy. He's contained at the line for no gain. Nate Wiggins getting up to end that play. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
Now on 2nd and 10. Man there, it's Malik Neighbors. Good little rip there. Looks like about 6. Stopped by one of the league's best tacklers, Roquan Smith. Third and 4 coming up now. They're going play action. Oh, he put some heat on this deep ball, left side. Looking for his wide receiver there. And 4th and 4 coming up.
There was a window there for a moment, but boy, did they close the gap before that throw could arrive.
The Giants readying to punt, and they're going to send out the lefty, Jamie Gillen, for the kick. He has it at the 33. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. The kicking team got downfield quickly there. He didn't manage much on the return. And the Ravens will go on offense. New set of downs for him at the 38. First down throw for Jaxson. Complete, Derrick Henry. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Brian Burns coming up with the stop.
Ooh, he knew he was going to pay for throwing that. I knew it from up here in the booth watching that happen. But that's an experienced quarterback. If that first primary target isn't there, make sure you find your safety valve. And that got them some yards, so taking that shot, well, it was not for nothing.
This is Henry on 2nd. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. Micah McFadden able to make the play. They pick up 1 on the run. Need more, though. That takes them to 3rd and 5. They send one of the tight ends in motion right. Jaxson out of the gun on 3rd. And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. New York taking over once again. The offense heading out. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. A give to Tracy up the middle. Breaks through, and he might break away. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
From the 30 on 2nd down. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right.
You really want those throws to be like clockwork for your offense. Every team needs to hit passes in that short to intermediate range to effectively move the ball.
Still inches to go on 3rd down. On the handoff, this is Tracy. Has the first, but wants more. He's past the 45. And he's finally marked down at the 46-yard line. Give him 24 on that play. And the Giants will have a 1st down.
That is your old school meat and potatoes call right there. Don't even think about throwing it. Just rush it ahead and get what you need.
New set of downs for him from the 46. To throw it on 1st down. Has him on the quick hitter. And he goes out a little short of the 40. Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. From the 42. Connects with Jaxson. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
As a quarterback, when you throw that curl route, you know it's a tight window, Kate. But the minute that DB turns and can't react to the throw, you put it right on your receiver's numbers. He comes back and gets it and moves the sticks.
Ball at the 33 for first down. Fakes the handoff, now to throw. Taken in by Bellinger. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
And they beat him to the edge. That run stopped back at the line. No progress on first down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
When you rush the passer, it's kind of like tracking down a runner. That same pass, same athleticism comes to life. He looked pretty good hunting his prey right there.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. They kick the running back in motion. 2nd and 10 now. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
For how well they were moving the ball on this possession, surprising. Surprising to see them get caught up now. And even more surprising, Kate, to see them knock so far backwards with a sack. At this point, well, you got to get back on schedule. Maybe even a manageable 4th down if you don't get the first.
So it's the 2-minute warning here from MetLife. It's the Giants with 3rd and very long. Back now, pressure on its way. Again, he's under pressure, and he goes down. And consecutive sacks have them staring at a tough 4th down.
3rd and long, and that coordinator decides to dial up the pressure, and they get to the quarterback. You know why I love this call, Kate? It's not just because of the aggressive makeup, but you really dictate to that offense. 3rd and extra long is a great time to blitz, because either you get home like that, or the ball's got to come out way short of the sticks. Job well done defensively.
And that one is not where he needed it to be. It is off and no good. And this will remain a 4-point game.
He was hitting from that distance pregame. Heck, we were on the field watching it, and they were confident he could do so again. Just did not work out this time around.
Now the Ravens all set for another possession. They seem likely to carry the lead into the locker room, but some points here to end the half could make things even more comfortable. On first down, Jaxson falls to the ground out left, incomplete. That was Zay Flowers, the intended receiver. So that brings up 2nd down.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
Couldn't connect on first. It's 2nd down. One of the tight ends motioning left. Lamar now from the gun. Finds him over the middle. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs. Now the Ravens are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Jaxson. Makes the grab in bounds left side. That play goes for 19 and a new set of downs.
I'll be honest with you, Kate. As you grow and develop as a quarterback, your arm gets stronger. These comebacks can be one of your favorite throws in your arsenal. Because if you trust yourself and you throw it before that defender breaks, you know there's yards to be had on the perimeter.
Play action. Here's Jaxson. Taken in by Hill, right side. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after it looks like a yard gain. Fabio Carrique making that stop.
Some certainly do it better than others, Kate, but every running back in the league today has got to do just that. You cannot be a one-dimensional back in the league anymore. You can't. You got to be able to handle your business, both toting the ball as a runner, and really importantly as a check-down outlet on short throws.
Into the hands of Likely. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop. Timeout taken by the offense, their second. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. Five men in the secondary for the G-men now, ahead of third down. Jaxson yet again. Cut near the goal line. And he'll be taken down at the last possible moment. He's at the 1. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have first and goal. All right, this is going to be the play that takes us to halftime. Now, just before the break, a timeout taken by the offense, and they can try for some points going into the break. Only time left for one more snap, Brock, so they're going to run out their field goal unit. Angling this one in from the right hash, the challenge here. And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And add 3 to their lead as it extends to 7.
In that close, in the red zone, you know they're upset they couldn't finish the drive with the touchdown. It's only half the points, but at least there's something to show for the possession.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. He's going to return it from a yard or 2 deep. He's hauled down on what is the final play of our first half. So we've reached the halftime break. It's the Ravens leading so far on the road. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to our studios in Orlando. Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Kate, thanks very much. And with that, we welcome you all into our EA Sports studios. This is the Halftime Report. We saw a terrific first half from the dual-threat quarterback, Lamar Jackson. He was able to take it in himself for the game's only touchdown. And you wonder if this coaching staff will ask him to do a bit more the rest of the way.
The Ravens kicking team is ready, and they're going to send this one away. Gray now on the return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Giants and Tyrone Tracy are running back on now. And their defense sure has kept this game close. Now it's time for them to come through, get some points for their team in this low-scoring affair. They're going to throw here to begin the drive. Finds his target, Robinson. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. The rangy Kyle Hamilton getting there for the stop.
Whole bunch of credit goes to just about everybody on that offense. Guys up front needed to give the QB enough time to let that play develop. Excellent effort by that receiver to stay alive and for the quarterback to scan the field and find his completion.
Quick slant caught by Neighbors. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
You know, Kate, over the years, I have heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. A handoff to Tracy. And they're going to stop him after he wiggles his way forward for 2.
Well, Kate, a 2-yard run on first down, I think that keeps you ahead of schedule. But you're going to have to pick up the pace.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Here's Tracy once more. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Give him about 3 yards, and now they're going to have 3rd and 5 to figure out.
These are the kind of runs, Kate, that just soften up a defense. Keep working on them, keep working on them. And eventually you're going to break one of those counters for even bigger yardage.
From the gun on 3rd down. Complete beyond the marker. There he goes on the right side. He will go. Touchdown, New York. The Giants cut into the lead coming out of halftime. So they punch it in for 6, Brock, and now a conversion away from tying this game back up.
This one just has the feel, doesn't it? The makings of a one-score game in the 4th quarter that could go either way.
Graham Gano to tack on the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Giants tie things 10-10. Gano ready to send this away. Hill now to return it. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Baltimore running its offense out now. And this is an important drive to get momentum back after that touchdown tied things up. They send a man in motion. On 1st and 10, it's Jaxson. Caught, nice gain left side. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
Yeah, these in cuts maybe aren't the hardest throws from a degree of difficulty, Kate, but it does take some courage as a quarterback to throw into congested spaces, but it can pay big dividends.
Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. It's a gain of 3 for him. That brings up 2nd and 7. Lamar off the play fake. Gets this one to Andrews. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that's good for a Ravens 1st down.
That wasn't going anywhere else on that play. It's one of the ones called specifically for the tight end because they know he's able to get a good release off that play action, and then he gets himself in space to do some damage.
First down, here's Lamar. Connects with Bateman. And he's taken down at the 30. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the 1st down. Out of the gun, here's Jaxson. Andrews with the catch. And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes you're looking to push the ball down the field. But as I've said before, the crumbs lead to a cookie. And you never go broke taking a profit, and those big tight ends will often find you those easy check down yards.
From the red zone now. Flushed out of the pocket. He's going to keep it this time. And this one does not go far.
It's one of those situations, not much to be had there no matter what he did with the ball. Even if he scraped a positive gain out of it, that's still a win and a confidence builder for this defense.
Second down now, 7 to go. From the gun, a run for Henry. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
It was University of Wisconsin, Kate, the first time I heard this term, slow to explode through. And think how good that Badgers run game has been at the college level. Well, they made runs like that look easy. Slow to explode through.
From the gun, Jaxson bails out of the pocket quick. And they will score. It's a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens grab the lead on their first series of the half. It's a Lamar Jackson touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
That one splits the uprights. And the Ravens break that tie and now lead by 7. The Ravens kicking team is ready, and they're going to send this one away. Starting from the 5. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Another drive coming up for this offense. They'll look to knot up this game right now as they trail 17-10. Motioning the tight end now. Connects with Slayton. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
First down, ball at the 36. Throwing with a blitz on the way. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
As a defense, you got to see the pass. You got to time up your hit, and you got to jar that ball loose. Not a lot of offensive players are hanging on to that one through a well-placed hit.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. He'll look to throw. Escapes the pocket. Stepping up, and he's going to run. Decent yardage picked up here before he slides down to avoid the tackle.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. They'll try and throw it here. Gets it to him on the screen. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. That goes as a 4-yard pickup, and it gets him a first down.
This dude's just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that first down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
Throwing from the gun. Gets this to Slayton. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down. From the gun, it's Tracy. And he gets it forward and still about a yard out of that. Stopped by one of the league's best tacklers, Roquan Smith. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
The only thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Got it, man. Robinson has it. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
Gosh, I really like this receiver on that drag route in particular. Why? Because he's a guy that creates after the catch. They don't close quickly. He could take it to the house.
A touchdown aside in that frame as we run out of time in the third quarter. It's Giants football. They're on a mission here. They trail entering the fourth. They've got first down from the 31. Here's a throw. He finds Jaxson. And they haul him down just a foot or two shy of the red zone.
Sure nice to see them looking for their tight ends in the passing game. Such great size to have out there. It really forces defenses to try to find a way to defend them along with everybody else.
Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's 2nd and inches. From the 21. He finds Slayton. And he's going to be tackled, but still all the way down to the 6. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
Well, that one was drawn up and delivered beautifully, efficiently. If it's not circled on the call sheet already, you better believe it is now.
They can decide to play for the tie or win later. First, they've got to reach that end zone. It's 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. And that's a New York touchdown. So he looks to and finds the big fella, and his tight end takes it in for 6.
Such a reliable weapon down in the red zone. You know, kind of reminds me like a point guard making an entry pass to that post player. When you trust your big people around you, and when a quarterback trusts his tight end like that, it makes a difference.
So a chance to tie it up again here in the 4th. The kick is good, so this game now hinging on every possession as we're tied up in the 4th. Gano ready to send this away. Returning it from the 4. And look at this return. Going strong at the 30. And they finally bring him down after a huge return into their territory.
It's moments like these I remember back to some of the great returners I got a chance to play with, and you could feel it. Before the kickoff even happened, you could feel their energy. They know the moment. They know the magnitude of the return, and that guy just captured all of it.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. They go play fake with Jaxson. Bateman hauls it in. And not much doing. He stopped quickly. Second down now, 7 to go. Lamar now from the gun. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. He was looking for Zay Flowers. And that takes them to 3rd down.
I think that was a throw, Kate, that just came a little bit too late. What it did is it gave that defense time to come up and deliver a pop and knock the ball loose before he could secure it fully.
Short side option here. He's running left. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
It's easy for me to say up here in the friendly confines of the booth, Kate, but that was not the right read. And you hate seeing him absorb yet another hit at the end of the play. You never want him taking unnecessary shots throughout this game.
So on 4th down, they bring him out for his most important kick of this game. 1 for 1 so far. This is from 40. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And they take the lead in the 4th quarter.
Well, I tell you what, you get to this time of the game, you've got to have that reliable kicker on the sideline to turn things over to. That's the definition of clutch right there as they take the lead.
The Ravens kicking team is ready, and they're going to send this one away. Gray now on the return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Giants headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And he has to be happy about his game. We're checking some of the highlights right now that he's made so far. A good showing that's seen him in the zone from time to time. And also, he's just seen the field well from his spot in the middle of this offense. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing. His quick throw knocked away, incomplete.
Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. But as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, well, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. They run. Here's Tracy. And he found some running room for a nice gain. A solid 8-yard gain there, and now they're going to have 3rd and 2. Trying the right side with Tracy. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
You know, Kate, if you notice those guys that love to feed themselves on the field, right? They love to just get more and more. They're hungry for even more. I'll tell you what, that tackle, it prevented something that's going to be a lot bigger, but that back remains hungry.
They'll throw on 1st. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
And right there's the danger, Kate, when you put the ball in the air. How many times do we see these coordinators, when you get a nice run, right, you gain some steam on the ground, you stick with the ground game. They don't. They call the pass, and the defense reacts, and reacts well with a sack.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. Here's Tracy. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
This coordinator tried to show some trust and belief in his offense. A run after a negative run? Well, you lose a lot of equity and belief in that coordinator. I don't think he's going to try a 3rd run after back-to-back negative losses.
Let's see what they went with on 3rd down. Looking for a throw here. He's got him. That's Tracy. And he'll get it up to the 44.
I'm a big fan of the screen pass. Really, you can run a screen as they just showed on any play. 1st, 2nd, 3rd down, sometimes even 4th. But it takes great acumen, a great football IQ defensively to have an awareness it's coming, and then more importantly, to stop it.
The Giants are set to punt. And the fair catch secured here at the 16. We don't get a return out of that punt. And the Ravens will take over with a lot of field ahead of them. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. The drive begins with Henry. And he's only able to power this forward for about 3 yards. Second down now, 7 to go. From the 19. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. At the 20. He does it. Touchdown, Baltimore. The Ravens make it a 9-point advantage. So no mistaking that play call, Brock. They send everybody on deep goes, and it winds up paying off. What a play.
And you'd think on the other side, defensively, they'd be ready for this. But this is truly a breakdown in the secondary. They're just not able to make a play on the ball in the air. And the end result, as you said, a big play and a touchdown.
Looking to tack on the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Ravens make it a 10-point ball game. The Ravens kicking team is ready, and they're going to send this one away. Has this at the 6. He's stopped on the return at the 27. This offense ready to get going again now. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And, man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. Play didn't break how they wanted it, and he throws this away. Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Pass play now. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 12 there. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
Throwing now from the gun. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And it's going to be second down. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
Nearly an interception on that play. So now it's going to be third and long.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
This will be the last play before our 2-minute warning. Third and long for him here. Complete beyond the marker. And they're going to bring him down just as we've come up to the 2-minute warning. Down a couple of scores, but still some time left and 3 timeouts as well. It's 1st and 10. Throwing it again here. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. Give him 13 on that play. And the Giants will have a first down.
You know, Kay, that is the epitome of trust right there. Right? When the ball is let out of his hands, I think everybody on the sidelines in the stadium went, because he threw it in double coverage. And you may question the decision, but it's tough to challenge it when it produces results like that.
The Giants using their first timeout as they'll meet and decide what to do on this second down. From the 28. The screen pass falls incomplete. Looking for the back that time. And now they need to get 4 on 3rd down.
Hey, Kate, I know it's unrealistic to expect a 100% completion rate from anywhere on the field. But in this close, you really shouldn't be missing too many throws. Those need to be borderline automatic.
Here he is to throw. Passing struggles bleeding over from that last play. He's forced to get rid of this one.
Boy, you certainly want those throws to be automatic. Every team, if you're going to be efficient, you got to hit those passes in the short to intermediate zone to effectively move the ball in this league.
Graham Gano and the Giants field goal unit out. From the right hash, about 45 yards out. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And it pulls him back within 1 score here in the 4th.
This is a case of, well, just get what you can on the way out the door, Kate. It's already out of reach. Just take the 3, let your kicker get some points, and make it a hair closer in the box score.
So with less than a minute and a half to play, they must recover this onside effort. And no dice on this kick, the Ravens recover. And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. The Ravens and Lamar Jackson are ready to go again on offense. And he has continued to own this defense and keep on throwing that football, partner, making this performance one that he's going to remember, but as you like to say, the defense would probably rather forget. Out of the gun, Henry. And he runs into a wall there. Multiple defenders ready to stop him cold at the line. Second and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Another run for Henry. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. The Giants are going to call their final timeout here. And that's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. And the Giants going nickel, 3rd down coming. Back to throw it. And they got there in time. He's taken down. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
You're just not going to win many games in this league when you can't generate a pass rush until the 4th quarter. You needed to feel the impact from this defense earlier and more often in this game. The lack thereof, well, it's a big part of what's put them playing from behind in the final stanza of this one.
Baltimore lined up in punt formation. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. Averaging a little under 50 a kick so far, Brock, as he gets away another one. The Giants back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And his production is carried over into this second half. He keeps on running well, even with the workload they've placed upon him. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Here he is to throw. And he won't connect on that one. Incomplete.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Setting up to pass. He's got time. And will he? No, he's not going to escape. They take him down on a pivotal play late in this ball game. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up. So the Ravens will fly home with the win. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with a victory. With Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are your winners as we say so long from New York.